Hi, it's James here, and today I'm looking at the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80, specifically the black dial 40mm version on a bracelet. I've reviewed the quartz variant in another video, so it'll be interesting to see whether the automatic version is worth the extra outlay. In terms of backstory, the PRX is based directly on a Tissot design from the late 1970s. Back then, integrated case and bracelet sports watches were everywhere, and Tissot produced their own version with the same slim case profile and flat link bracelet you see here. That design has been brought back, updated with modern finishing, modern proportions and a very capable movement. My first impressions are that it feels far more expensive than it is. The tolerances are excellent, the brushing across the case is neat and directional, the polished bevels are crisp, and there's no sense of compromise. It feels solid, with a reassuring weight and premium touch that you'd usually expect from a watch 2 or 3 times the price. But the standout, without question, is the bracelet. The flat link design may look simple, but the articulation of the links gives it a suppleness that makes it supremely comfortable and tactile. It drapes naturally over the wrist, it doesn't pinch, and the finishing is consistently clean. It's a bracelet that makes you want to keep handling the watch even when you're not wearing it. But in terms of wearing experience, this bracelet genuinely rivals bracelets on watches in a much higher category. It doesn't have the complexity of a Royal Oak or an Overseas, of course, but in terms of comfort and fluidity, it feels like higher end pieces but at a fraction of the cost. And that's important because on an integrated watch like this, the bracelet isn't an afterthought, it's half the design, and here it's superb. On the wrist, the 40mm case feels exactly right. The thin profile means it slides under a cuff, but the sharp, flat surfaces give it presence. The integrated design helps it hug the wrist, so it wears balanced, compact, and to me personally, it's right on the mark. The dial on this automatic version of the PRX is a waffle pattern, and it really does make a difference. It gives the watch character and texture, catching the light in a way that brings depth to what might otherwise be quite a flat design. On this black version, it's subtle, but it adds that bit of visual interest. Inside is the Powermatic 80 movement. This is a reworked version of the ETA 2824, one of the most widely used Swiss calibers of the past 40 years. What Tissot have done is slow the beat rate to 21,600 VPH and optimize the movement for efficiency, which allows for that impressive 80-hour power reserve. On top of that, you get a Nevacron balance spring for anti-magnetic resistance, so it has all the robustness of the 2824, but with longer running time and modern materials. It's reliable, consistent, and importantly, serviceable, and at this price, it's one of the strongest automatic offerings available. And that brings me to value. Rivals in this price category are Hamilton with the Jazzmaster line or the Khaki Field automatics, both excellent, but stylistically more traditional, and the bracelets simply aren't on the same level as this. Longines sits just above with the Conquest or the Spirit. You'll pay more, but the PRX doesn't feel far behind in quality. It delivers a similar premium touch at a noticeably lower price point. There are many other options when you begin looking at 4 figures, but for daily wear, the PRX doesn't feel worlds apart. So in its bracelet, I'd say the PRX Powermatic 80 is unusually strong. Very little competes with it directly, because very little offers this combination of integrated bracelet design, an efficient automatic movement, and this level of finishing at the price. It would be nice if the butterfly clasp allowed micro adjustment, so you're limited to half links, but that aside, the fundamentals are about as strong as you'll find at this level. So the PRX Powermatic 80 is superbly made with tight tolerances. It feels premium well beyond its price. The bracelet is outstanding, supple, refined, and reminiscent of higher end watches. The 40mm size is spot on, and the waffle dial adds just enough texture and character to keep it interesting day to day. The movement, rooted in the tried and tested ETA 2824, has been modernised into one of the strongest calibers at this level. And really, the PRX sits in a category of its own. It's become the entry point into the integrated sports watch genre, giving the same design language and wearing experience that links back to the Royal Oak and the Nautilus, but at a fraction of the cost. That's why it's such a compelling watch, because it bridges that gap between high-end design heritage and everyday attainability, without feeling like a watered-down version. It feels authentic, it feels premium, and it feels like remarkable value for money.